This is the Moondrop Chu, the $20 offering from Moondrop that has been hyped to the moon, see what I did there, by Clinical recently, and I decided to get my hands on it the day it was announced. Now before we get in, I'm going to say some good things and I'm going to say some bad things, and then I'm going to clarify at the very end, so please watch through. This is important. Let's start off with the simple things: design, build quality. This thing is metal. It's a $20 housing that's made of metal. This thing feels absolutely solid. It's very comfortable in the ear, and it comes with cables that are not detachable. I believe some of the modding community is already working on detaching them and modifying them. Good for those guys, although for 20 bucks, I don't know if I'd want to put in any more effort. I don't think sound quality gains are to be had here by modding the cable. Now, the one I've got is with an inline mic, and some people say that does change sound quality in most devices, but again, for a $20 device, that change is not going to be the deal breaker. It's not going to be the thing to focus on. Now, two cool things about this is it comes with these spring tips that everybody seems to like. I'm not really a silicone tip guy, but they are quite nice. They're a bit grippy, they're a bit sticky, and yeah, they feel like premium tips. They feel like good tips, so I get why people like them. But the cool thing is the earphones also come with these wire guides. And at first I didn't understand why they did this, but when I used them, I found my right ear, the wire, instead of going around my ear, it would constantly fall out and just sort of dangle there, and that got quite annoying, and that is why they included these. But that's okay, because this means Moondrop was thinking about it and doing something about it, and that, again, for $20, that's really, really cool. Now, the one thing you have to keep in mind is when you have a $20 device, quality control is usually not top priority, or even if it is, it's expensive to have good quality control, and that was evident in my unit because my left earbud right here actually has the filter a little bent and a little wobbly and out of shape, and it's really hard to get these things in the right shape and unbent. So I think that might change the sound characteristics a smidge. In my case, after I fixed it, the sound signature was, I think, pretty similar to the right ear, so there's no huge differences there. But just something to keep in mind, it's not that Moondrop doesn't care about quality, it's just quality control costs money. That's just how it is. Now with that out of the way, let's get straight into what you've been waiting for, the sound quality. I'm going to start with the highs and work down to the bass because I usually do it the other way around, but really where this thing sings, I think, is in the mids and the highs. Both mids and highs come across clear, transparent, and actually reasonably well detailed. Although there were places where if you had a lot going on in the upper mids and the highs, I found them to be sort of masking each other in some way. There was a little bit of confusion. Separation wasn't quite where I wanted to be in those circumstances alone. In everything else though, it seemed pretty good, especially given the price of this device. Now the mids are really, really nice and clear and transparent. The highs, not quite. While the highs seemed clear, this is a very high forward presentation. Some people like that. Some people like sparkly, airy treble. I prefer a slightly less boosted treble. When I used EQ and brought the treble down, I found the experience to be far more pleasant. Although even so, I have to say, while the treble doesn't get harsh, it does definitely get sibilant on many tracks. Not only that, on certain tracks, it is absolutely stabbingly sharp. Now, I know that I am fairly sensitive to highs. I get that, and other people might have different preferences, but I think even those people, once they hear this, will agree that, at least with the stock silicone tips that come with the earbud, it's just too sharp in certain areas, and that just doesn't do it for me. And what contrasts that out is the fact that the bass is actually not quite there. And what I mean is, yes, there is a bass boost, yes, you can hear it, but there is a shocking lack of detail and definition in the bass. Also, the bass isn't nearly as pushed up as I think most people would like. And this to me is a very unusual decision. Most earbuds in the budget category would push the bass up really high because they know that's what a lot of people want. In this case, they haven't done that. In this case, they've gone for a sort of relatively neutral tuning on the bass, which is fine. That works for a lot of IEMs. But in this case, there being a lack of definition and detail kind of lets the bass response down. There's a little bit of punch there, and I found that using silicone tips kind of focuses the bass response, makes it more punchy and less bloated. But even so, there's just not much data, not much detail there to work with. That combined with piercingly sharp highs makes this just not the kind of IEM that I would enjoy. There is one other thing that stood out to me through the whole sound signature, and that is that the entire range sounded a little sharp. What I mean is, vocals in general sounded sharp and a little bit nasally. At first I thought this was because of those bumped up highs, and I thought female vocals would be more affected than male vocals down in the lower mid region. But as I heard other tracks, I realized that all of the vocals, and in fact the entire frequency spectrum, sounded a little sharp. Now the frequency response of this device seems really nice. You can see it on Clinical's website, and I think that is reflected in how transparent the mids seem. There's nothing that's masking them, nothing that's muddying the lower mids. It's just really nice. But I don't know if it's the driver or the housing, but something is making the entire sound a little sharp, a little metallic, and a little bit unnatural. So to sum it up, you've got nice clear highs and mids, and you've got a relatively weak showing in the bass department, at least to my hearing with the stock tips. And as I have said before, I do think those highs are a smidge too sharp. So then, who is this for? Well, I think it's for two kinds of people. Number one, if you're hard stuck at $20 and you want something nice, then I don't know many options on the market that do the things that the Moondrop Chus do. Granted, they're not perfect, but they're a heck of a lot better than the free buds that come with your mobile phone. In fact, free buds don't even come with mobile phones anymore. So yeah, there you go. If you have to spend absolutely almost nothing, the Moondrop Chu is probably not a bad idea. The other person this might be for is someone who wants a glimpse into the audiophile world and doesn't want to spend any money whatsoever. Previously, I would have said the KZX Clinical ZEX Pro would have been a good candidate. $37, really nice IEM despite all the drama. That's good. But now you can get something interesting for $20. But the thing is, that person might either be blown away by the transparent mids and whatnot, or be completely turned off by the rather weak bass performance and the, shall we say, very ambitious treble. That brings me to my final point. The Moondrop Chu is a divisive IEM. It's great for $20, but being great for $20 does not translate into greatness overall. There's a big asterisk there, and that's something people should understand. Don't spend $20 on the Moondrop Chu expecting flagship performance, expecting something that'll take down amazing IEMs at 10 times the price. That's not what you're getting here. You're getting something at a price bracket that has nothing. That's the Moondrop Chu in a nutshell. Now, as I've been speaking to you, literally another package just came. The Altia Caliber 1H, India's first dynamic driver headphone, house-made, although the drivers have been outsourced, but I'm super psyched. I'm gonna go unbox that right now. That's my afternoon. I'm not even gonna edit this video right now. I'm going to listen first and then edit later. That's awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, stay peaceful, stay colorful. Namaste.